All right, dear Scorpio, this one's for you. Here you are. This is from Tarot Lumination. We're calling this playlist Through the Gateway, What Now? I'm referring really specifically to the Pisces new moon that just happened and the Uranus to Taurus ingress that just happened. From my perspective, this is a huge calendar moment in the whole year. And we're talking about two specific points. For you, Scorpios, it's right here. The fifth house, true love, creativity, creative self-expression, business, risks, being happy, taking your divine inspiration from over here and turning it into creative self-expression, okay? Being happy, like your job, Scorpio, is to be happy, okay? But it's gonna happen in radical new ways. Look at this over here, Uranus and Taurus over there in relationship. So typically, a lot of people feel the fifth house and seventh house as love and relationship. Get it? So this is actually a really important little mini report for you guys. Radical new awakenings, new shifts in how relationships appear to you and come to you from a significant other or from significant others. You know, everyone has their own version of these trigger points, but for you Scorpios, it's in your seventh house of maximum opposition, which happens to equal maximum awareness. Sometimes maximum awareness is uncomfortable because you might not like what you see reflected back to yourself about yourself from a significant other who loves you or who does not love you or whatever their posture may be. But there's so much awareness that comes from this. It's the most satisfying, rich, and rewarding type of relationship dynamic you can have. But it's also the hardest, okay? Just letting you know. But you are blessed, Scorpio, because you have this beautiful Pisces new moon, even with the Mercury retrograde, very supportive for you when it comes to loving relationship. Okay, let's have a look. Now, what I'm going to do is, like I've done with the other reports, I want to invite you to just close your eyes, imagine that you just won a prize for a cruise. And okay, like with Tarot Lumination, on the Tarot Lumination cruise ship, you just won a prize and you're there with a bunch of other subscribers, members, viewers, likers. And then Tarot Luminations comes up and says, hello, everyone. Hello. Oh, it's you, Scorpio. Hi, Scorpio. Well, you're going to join us. We're going to be landing at this new place, and we're going to go into the local museum, exhibition, tourist trap thing place. You know, that's what they do with cruises. And they take you to a new place, they drop you off, and then there's the tour guide with the brochures, and they point you in this direction. There is the gateway, dear person, and please enjoy the experience. Uh-oh, what now? Because this is all brand new, okay? I'm combining this energy, Uranus into Taurus and the Pisces new moon. So like everybody, like with these kind of situations, there is the event, there is the place, the thing that's happening, all that fixed stuff. In other words, this is fixed information. It's a question is, how do you react to this? How do you respond to this energy, specifically this energy and this energy? That's up to you, Scorpio. So I'm just trying to help, okay? So just imagine you've got the brochure and Tarot Lumination is quietly taking you by the shoulder and saying, here's the gateway, dear person. There you go. And then now you're on your own. Uh-oh. Whoa, I'm floating in space. What happened? So anyway, we're going to do just a very short spread here, but can you guess where we're actually doing this? Can you see that? This is an island nation. And Tarot Lumination is right here, right now, as we do this. And Los Angeles is right over there, very far away. Okay? All right. So let's get on. It's a lot happening for you, Scorpios, with Uranus into Taurus. You know, that's your seventh house of relationship. So the next 7 years are going to be surprising and fun and interesting and perhaps shocking, weird, disorienting, but also very satisfying. Something really good is going to be coming out of it. But it probably means having to shake up and recalibrate a lot of things too. Okay, so I'm hoping this little story here helps you, okay? Cards are well shuffled in advance, no jumpers, no pliers, no oracles, no reversals, no time, no room, okay? I've got one oracle coming up here, but that's later, okay? We'll come to that. So regarding that storyline I just asked you to imagine, you got off the cruise ship, Terra Illumination is right there, hand on the shoulder, you're with a bunch of other people, you're going through the same gateway as everyone else. What's this like for you? I'm going to cut it up. Bless this deck. Bless every single card. Bless you, Scorpios. Bless Terra Illumination and all the internet and everything that we can do this at all. Here's the situation. Here's the challenge with all of this. And here's how we're going to handle it, okay? It's a lot to handle, Scorpios, but I know you can do it because that Pisces energy is very harmonious for you. And the Taurus energy, even though it's in full opposition, and it depends on the exact degree point where you're really going to feel the maximum pressure of opposition, but that is an opportunity. It's an amazing opportunity for new growth, new awareness, so you can evolve, adapt, grow, and blossom. That's the intention of the universe here. It wants you to do that, okay? So what's the weather like? Circumstantial energy. Here is the weather that influences you. And you're probably over there somewhere, or maybe over there, whatever. Okay, here's the weather. So you've got the Hermit. So Scorpios, my first feeling is that it's almost like shock. Like when you go through the gateway, when you go through this psycho-spiritual gateway, and Terra Illumination's be nice, and everyone else is like, holiday mood, and like, oh, what's this? What's that? What's that? Oh, I'm going through the gateway too. Are you a Scorpio? Yes. Okay. Oh, I'm an Aries. Okay, that's cool. So anyway, good luck. And so you go through the gateway, and all of a sudden, like, you feel very alone. Uh-oh. Because deep down significant changes are happening in some of the most sensitive, delicate parts of a human existence, love and relationship. That's why the love and relationship reports are so important on this channel and so many other channels. This part of life here, we really, really feel it deep in our guts. And anything and everything that doesn't work can trigger fear and the sense of isolation and solitude, solitary, well, not confinement, but solitary, basic solitude. So you end up having to be with oneself. And that can be kind of shocking, because if you've managed to conduct a life and live a life where you can immerse yourself in activities, distractions, missions, goals, tasks, a lifestyle, or relationships in general, to the point where you don't actually have to work on yourself, okay? Human beings are incredibly gifted at finding ways not to have to do the deepest inner work. You can go out and be a savior and a martyr and rescue everybody on the planet as a highly effective strategy to avoid doing your own work on yourself. I have a feeling you probably know people like that, all right, Scorpios? Well, this is emblematic of you almost facing the same thing, where you realize, oh my gosh, there's no escape. There's nowhere to hide. There's nowhere for me to go. I'm going to have to face myself, and I'm going to have to come to understanding with myself. Uh-oh. But that's the opportunity, and it's going to happen in the context of love and relationship. With any luck, a loving relationship. How about that? So what's the situation? Okay, with the King of Cups here, my feeling is that you're going to be required to take it to the next level where you've really never been before. But that's the beauty of being in the gateway and coming through and looking into new horizons around you. Please see it as an opportunity for growth, expansion, coming into selfhood more than ever before, perhaps learning the hard way. But if you see this new journey that's beginning here and here as an opportunity, and it's inevitable, and you just take a huge deep breath, maybe do some Terra Illumination healing exercises or whatever it is, and you go forward anyway, forward into the unknown, forward into the weird and the wonderful and the unpredictable and the scary and the exciting. And it's all about awakening. This pattern here wants to wake you up, And for that to happen, it means, to me, it feels like it's a lot of pressure on you to have to be your own most integral, magnanimous self in terms of self-love, loving thyself in order to be loving, in order to be loved. And that is the hardest thing to do on this planet. So Scorpio, my feeling is that as potentially rewarding as this gateway experience is going to be for you, I feel that deep down, as you go through this gateway, you're going to get a glimpse of the good stuff that you deserve. But it does require having to go through, like, what do they call it? Running the gauntlet, or going through a new landscape in terms of love and relationship, where you're going to feel a lot of emotional turbulence, disruption, to which you will respond only with love. That will become your job. That will become your day job. The definition of your day job, you being you, is to be loving in the most integral manner possible. Sometimes that's very hard to do. Just imagine being a parent with a child, or being a best friend to someone who's turning into an abuser, or someone who suddenly is having real problems with their life and they are starting to self-sabotage badly. Sometimes you might have to intervene, but this is about yourself now. So in other words, in terms of love, loving relationships, in order to live your journey and get hold of the maximum opportunity of what happens in this new journey in front of you, it's going to require the Scorpios to, let's say, I don't know, it's a kind of a cliche, ascend, or maintain your integrity no matter what. Maybe I can put it like this. You have a lot of work to do internally that can only happen in the context of a highly significant relationship, or perhaps several highly significant relationships that are fundamentally defined as loving, where you are loving, they are loving. Sometimes it could be very uncomfortable. And then you have to maintain your integrity. Like if something is out of alignment in the relationship dynamic and you can sense it and you can feel it, you do not stop yourself being you. You do not lower your standards of integrity to accommodate their pain, their suffering, their challenges. In other words, do not stop your own journey for fear of what happens or what may happen to a significant other. The reason I'm saying that is because I am encouraging everyone else to not stop on their significant journey in order to dumb themselves down or accommodate you. Of course, we're here to help each other. We can all support each other. But for you, Scorpio, it means having to be in a state of very high integrity. And as, let's say, you're in a situation with a significant other, and you are beginning to witness their own pain and suffering as they go through their own evolutionary gateway, their own version of this, your job would be to maintain your integrity, be the most loving person you can be, for number one, for yourself, but also for the other. Because if you operate at 70% or something, that's not loving as you could be towards the other. And so you're diminishing yourself, you're diminishing the other, you're diminishing the potential, diminishing the opportunity in such a way that is a waste. It's tragic. And so if you encounter situations where you know who you are, you know where you are, and you're doing the best you can in your full integrity, and that's actually causing a problem for a significant other or others, that's their problem. It's not yours, okay? You still have to be loving towards them and still invite them to be loving towards you and come from a loving perspective, but you're not allowed to let down your guard or take off the crown and the robes and operate from compromised positions or attitudes. You're not allowed to let the others get away with anything, and the others are not allowed to let you get away with anything. So it's like maximum pressure that comes with the opposition, okay? It's inevitable, so you might as well know this now, get used to it now, and get serious about it, okay? So what's the challenge with this? Okay, my feeling is the challenge is that you're going very deep. And the things that are happening to you in love and relationship, in some ways are probably what I see is quite painful from the soulmate perspective, because I think what's happening here with the Pisces new moon, because from my perspective, this is hard for me to read, sorry. From my perspective, there's very much healing that needs to go on here. I see this Pisces new moon, especially with the Mercury retrograde, is a chance to open the gateway to some very deep healing that's probably very long deserving. And it involves the ones that you love the most. In other words, if there's a lot of pain and suffering, perhaps from past lives or even in this lifetime, that has not been addressed and not been dealt with, because it's so uncomfortable to have to go there, to have to go that deep in order to reveal what needs to be healed and then to heal what needs to be healed. No wonder you would have fear. You might have fear of the loved ones because they come so close, but that's the only way that you can heal yourself, and it's the only way they can be healed. It happens in the context of a deeply loving relationship, okay? And sometimes those are extremely hard to conduct. I'm just letting you know, so I'm preparing you, Scorpio. I'm sorry about this. I've got a bit of a... I get caught off guard sometimes. It happens. So how are we going to deal with this? Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy for you, Scorpio, because I see this as a golden gateway to new opportunities, new reality. I think this is very much to do with the Uranus and Taurus thing, bringing things into reality so that by maintaining your integrity, by understanding that only you can be you, and you can't dissolve yourself and your problems into other people's situations in order to avoid having to clean up your own act, your own life, so to speak. And you bravely go forward into this gateway where you are on the deep soul level, are going to meet significant others, perhaps a very significant loved one who represents everything that you need in order for your own healing to occur and for their own healing to occur. But it's a golden opportunity, and it will be evident, it will be physical, it will be tangible. You can be with them in person, they can be with you in person, and you can become like in that very significant loving relationship dynamic. You can become very valuable to each other. You bring, oh God, I'm really messing up. You can bring great value and love and healing to a significant other, and a significant other can bring great value and love and healing to you in the most loving way possible, in ways that can only occur in the context of a deeply loving relationship. That's very hard. It's very hard to do, it's very hard to find, and it's very hard to maintain, it's very hard to sustain. And you're extremely lucky if you have even a glimpse of that, Scorpio. So please make the most of it. Okay, here's another card. We're going to pull an oracle card for you now. And this is about what is it you need to surrender. And that can be very hard to do, Scorpios. You like to have control to the point of absolute control. And that can be actually your limiting factor. And so this little card is hopefully going to give you a hint of how do you gently release what needs to be released so that you can evolve, grow, and adapt and blossom. And in so doing, foster the evolution, growth, adaptation, and blossoming of another. Whew, man, this is freaking hard, this reading. I'm sorry. Oh, here we go. By the way, those cards were well shuffled in advance. Just go to the last second so that you're witness. I'm just going to pull one card. Surrender your attachment to results, okay? It's understandable because it's almost impossible to predict outcomes or results in a very deeply loving relationship when this is going on. Uranus is the planet of unpredictability. It's surprises. You don't know. It's the planet of awakening. The whole idea is it's supposed to blow things open that have never in such a way that you can understand what was never understood before. It wants you to evolve. It wants you to awake. And so when you hold on to attachments for a specific outcome to happen, perhaps in a loving relationship or your own evolution, that's actually a limiting factor that you're imposing upon yourself. So that doesn't help. That doesn't behoove you. So it means having, in other words, the most regal, responsible, mature, self-respecting, self-loving posture is to surrender your attachment to results. I'll read it. The formula for success is to do all you can to make things happen for you, Scorpio, and then let go of the results or the expected outcomes. Holding on too tightly to a desired outcome can sabotage it, can sabotage the whole thing. So this is going to require immense diplomacy, immense, almost devotional kind of love, where you literally set the intentions, do what has to be done, and then let happen what has to happen, and let happen what happens, and accept that as the evolutionary pathway that's unfolding in front of you. So that could be something that you don't want, because what you want is what you want, but what you want is coming from your pre-existing expectations and understandings and direct parameters about love and relationship that are basically going to eventually, one way or another, be blown apart over the next 7 years. Okay, so you might as well get used to it now. Oh gosh. Okay, so I don't want to say anything more, Scorpios. I don't want to spoil it. So please reinterpret however you want to. You can do the action replays, rewinds, and all of that stuff. And then combine it with your sun, moon, and rising, especially if they're all different. Check out the links below for all the other tarot illumination stuff. Thank you for being here. Please become a member. It really, really helps. It's the most helpful thing you can do to say thank you. Bye-bye, Scorpios. Bye-bye.